Hello, I'm FPXSoyCat, and while trying to speedrun Minecraft on a random seed, I came across this one that is so good that I'm convinced I will never randomly come across one this amazing again for defeating Minecraft using the current strategy. I know that sounds pretty wild, but after you see today's video where we showcase this entire seed, what is amazing about it and why you should use it yourself, you'll be wanting to get to the Nether in literally 29 seconds like we did here. You'll be wanting to explore the amazing thing that lies beyond the curtains, but let's go back a second and let's start with what the seed is. It's going to be on screen right now, and this is Seed Sunday, the weekly series where I show you seeds for Minecraft that are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And today, allow me to show you a Minecraft seed that spawns you not just in front of a Minecraft village. You might have spotted that already, but it's this really nice little bay area that has some sugarcane, that has a village, which therefore means all of the crops you might want, that has a little bit of a tiger biome here, if that's your thing. But again, having all these things together is so delightful, and the fact that this village is honestly like usable if you want as an entire village and pillage farm, or can be just used to get some wood, to be used to get some iron, because there's an iron golem you can kill, can be used to get some stone. That is just an amazing thing, because you're going to be using this as a stopover to get to this here Nether portal. It is a ruin portal, which as you all know is a structure in Minecraft that tries to generate missing 3, 4, 5 missing bits of obsidian, and sometimes some crying obsidian in there is missing too. But this is a Nether portal which happened to generate almost entirely with just a single obsidian block missing. That is all that is missing from this, and as we all know, one of the more common things you can find in one of these chests is a single bit of obsidian, and then boom, you find yourself the missing piece to make this whole thing happen. It is a dream, is a delight when it happens. You can also loot the houses to get some bread, some gold nuggets, some potatoes, make yourself a nice potato or apple sandwich, or even better, you can make yourself an emerald sandwich, because apparently you get those here as well. Wow, how delightful that is. But this village is really just a refueling stop on the way to this Nether portal. As I showed in the intro, you can get here in literally 25 seconds. You can be going to the Nether 29 seconds in, because it is a ruined portal which doesn't form with 3 or 4 or 5 missing blocks like normally happens. It's a Nether portal which forms with an entire shape besides one block, and which is so lucky in that the only crying obsidian that is found right here is found in the corner, and therefore all you need is a single bit of obsidian. Where can you find a single bit of obsidian? It's a common drop in the chests which come next to these things. Also, you often find flint or steel, or flint and steel in this case, as you can see, as well as flint and steel. And as well as that, we've got a gold sword. Basically, we can use this single obsidian, we can use the flint and steel, and we can go to the Nether very quickly from spawning. This seed is incredible. It's the dream as far as like living in the Nether challenge, because you don't have to do this whole process in the overworld or cheat. You can just spawn yourself directly into the Nether, and boy, what a Nether it is. This is something I could dedicate a whole video to. I'm not going to for your benefit, but let me show you why this Nether is astounding. And by the way, I don't blame you if you hate soul sand valleys. I think they're one of the more tragic biomes in some cases, but look at this soul sand valley and look at how flat it is. Sometimes that poses a risk, but it means it's very easy to traverse as long as you stay on the soul soil, which doesn't slow you down as much as the soul sand does. If you stay on the soul soil, it's just a nice easy biome to traverse. You can run through here and you can get out here, and something wondrous about this Nether is the fact that it connects to other biomes so easily. Look over here, just a few blocks away from where your portal spawns, you can find yourself in a Nether waste biome. This entire thing, easy to explore also if you want to, as well as a basalt deltas. Again, arguably the 3 worst biomes in the Nether. You can make that argument, but they're all easily explorable, which means unlike other seeds where you have to go up and down and stack yourself through things and go through caves and stuff, this is all open Nether. It is delightful. If you want to build tunnels, you can. If you want to build things here, you totally can. And the only real fear is ghast, which admittedly is a big fear, but it's such a great thing, because if you want to go through this basalt deltas, it's also very easy to do precisely that, assuming you ignore these ghasts, because the basalt deltas is actually pretty tiny. I mean, there's a big part of the biome attached to it. What you've got to do is head in this direction. As you'll see along the way, there is the only tiniest decline you have to do, and once you go across that and then up another one, you get more flat Nether. And what's this? This flat Nether is yeah, again, it's nice, it's easy to explore. You can see so far in every direction, which is how I saw the Nether fortress for the first time. This was such an astounding place to find one. Again, so close to the spawn. It was like 100 something blocks with you know, easy enough to traverse terrain. And then I was at the rare structure we needed to make the thing happen, but then I needed obviously a warp forest forest, and a warp forest was going to be forever away. Oh no, what's that? There was one in the distance as well. A warp forest right here next to the Nether Fortress, and the Nether Fortress is obviously in a Nether Waste, which means if you want to get ender pearls by trading with piglins instead, they're also found right here, because you might notice from earlier there was a gold block above that portal, was there not? Just in case one gold block isn't enough, there's also a bunch of gold veins here, because the Nether Waste is the best place to find these gold ore blocks. And just, yeah, this is an incredible Nether Fortress. I especially love the fact that it kind of wraps around itself. You can see here is one part of the Nether Fortress. It's this weird kind of tower block thing over here. Very, very strange. And then it circles all the way around there, underneath the warp forest actually, and ends up over here in an entirely different looking Nether Fortress. It looks like it's two Nether Fortresses in one seed, and I like to do the clickbait thing and say, hey, there's two Nether Fortresses here. Technically speaking, it is the same one, even though they're linked so poorly in a way that you wouldn't notice, and therefore if you want to cut them off from each other, you totally can, because yeah, you just have to go through here, then up here, around, and do some loop-de-loops, and eventually you end up into the other part of this. Sure, that is a thing you can do, but most people won't know that, and most people just assume you got incredibly lucky and had two Nether Fortresses. You can use one half for a blaze farm, one half for a wither skeleton farm, and that is something that you don't get to do on most seeds. Another thing you don't always get on most seeds is this incredible warp forest. I'm a big fan of warp forests because, again, if you want to kill Enderman, you can do that very easily. If you want to ignore them, it's pretty easy to do that also. It's a great biome to settle down in and to live in, and you can see the size and the scale of this one. It's admittedly, the problem from before where it's like not very traversable, but because it goes through in and out of caves up here, if you use just this top layer, you get some very interesting warp forest like cave kind of looking biomes. Again, they're very strange, very weird things, but you can see how there's this perfect area to live a life in if you want to have easy access back to the overworld, easy access to the Nether Fortress in both places. There's this lovely place right here where you can guarantee no mobs besides Enderman will spawn, and if you just make it like 2 blocks high at the most, then you can guarantee even Enderman won't spawn, and I think that's a really, really valuable thing. In fact, I love the way the Nether works here. Again, easy and straightforward to explore if you want to. You just walk forward and the Nether reveals itself. It's such a rare and unique thing. And then even better than that, you can see how the few places where that doesn't happen make these nice caves, which are usually, unless it's a Nether Waste or a Soul Sand Valley biome, a great place to seek shelter from the ghast. Look over here, for instance, like what a delightful place this is. Again, just I love the Nether caves in this case. We need a cave update, and if we get a Nether cave update in the meantime, I guess I'm not too against that. So I love a straightforward Nether. I'm not always the biggest fan of like stuff like this. This is a piglin bastion, which is entirely in a cave. There is no way to get here that doesn't involve breaking blocks to get to this weird little bubble of a Nether Waste biome, which and also some Soul Sand Valley, which you might like if you're trying to make a piglin farm or something like that. I figured I should point this out as a thing, but this Nether is incredibly easy to explore in most places. It allows you to get from biome to biome easily, but that's just the Nether, right? There's another part of the siege you need to care about if you're defeating the game. So let's head home across our incredibly accessible Soul Sand Valley, and let's show you what that is, because obviously you need to get to the Stronghold, and while you get there, it might be nighttime in the overworld, but that's entirely fine, because I got to the overworld about half an hour in. I was ready to make some good progress on this end Stronghold, and fortunately enough, it was close enough to spawn, only a few hundred blocks in this direction. It took me a really nice pathway too, over some plains, over a forest, and then eventually, even better than that, it took me over an iceberg biome, which is great for picking up some snowballs if you want to help take down those, end towers. Again, I was ready, I was excited, I even got some of the things that I needed along the way to this village, and then I found out the village itself was better than I could have imagined. It's a nice tiger village, it has a blacksmith, which is great, free loot, it's always randomized, sometimes it's an iron chestplate sandwich, sometimes it's obviously significantly better, but the thing about this, villages is that it spawns above the Stronghold. That's really nice because it allows you to get down there real fast, really easy. Just dig down from pretty much any point in the village and you should end up inside of the Stronghold. Oh, here we go. This is the Stronghold. Look how nice and wonderful this is. I spent 20 minutes exploring this Stronghold, looking for the way out, because if you're curious, IFenders don't point you to the end room. They point you to the start of the Stronghold, and it can be a real nightmare trying to find your way in and out and around these things. And I spent 24 minutes just watching the clock tick away, and this was the moment I was like, okay, we have to be done here. But for those of you who are curious, there is in fact an end portal room in this Stronghold. That doesn't always happen. I'd love to talk about the weird bugs that can happen in Bedrock Generation sometimes, but just so you know, did you know there is in fact one of these on this seed. It's great. There's also the spawner. There's also a bunch of chests you can find around the stronghold. It's great, and I could have gone to the end, but I didn't because I couldn't find this room, and that was a real tragedy. A tragedy you don't have to repeat if you play the same seed. You can even go to the end if you really want, but that is something that was taken away from me, and it made me realize something about the random seed delicious category. It's a lot of fun to play, and you know, for fun, it's always worth giving a whirl, but as far as trying to be the best at, as far as trying to get the record time, there is so much variance of random seeds that you don't know about, and that is cool, that is fun, that is worth playing around with, but I realized I would never have as good a shot as I had on this seed. I had everything lined up. If I'd have just done it more efficiently better, if I'd have just found this end portal room, this is a good end to take down the dragon with, I could have done it. I could have had an amazing run, but I didn't, and it breaks my heart, and that is why I'm quitting speedrunning, at least for a little bit. I'm going to be just taking a break from trying to beat Minecraft real fast. It's really fun, and I still recommend people get into it because I'm not the best speedrunner out there, but I still managed to, at one point, have a world record on my belt. I still managed to, at one point, in fact, still am, I think, in the top 10 for, you know, quite a few categories, and that is something that's really fun. Trying to, you know, take a game that you love and beating it fast doesn't just have to be for the top 0.1% of Minecraft players. Give it a whirl, and that's the message I still want to spread. I still want to share, and here is a seed if you want to give that a whirl. That I really enjoyed my random seed, or try on an entirely random seed, because the stories you get playing on new seeds is delightful, it's fun, and sometimes they'll break your heart, like this one, but maybe sometimes they'll be the greatest opportunity for you and some people you care about. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you'll enjoy this video. I hope it inspires you to load up this seed, because that's the point of Seed Sunday, and if it didn't, then I hope I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.